Everyone. Welcome to Science Systems and Applications Incorporated, also known by our acronym SSAI's live podcast episode. I am your host, Jason Dietrich from the SSAI Communications Department. I just wanted to thank you all so much for listening in to our conversation today. If you are curious about what we've been up to, please make sure that you follow us on each of our social media platforms, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. For Instagram, what you can do is you can type in SSAIHQ in all lowercase letters, and you'll be able to see our page there. For LinkedIn, you can type in SSAI, again, in all lowercase letters, and you'll be able to find our page. And then for Facebook, you do have to do a little bit more typing, but you can just type in Science Systems and Applications, INC period, which is short for Incorporated, and you'll be able to see our Facebook page. Please also check out our website at www.ssaihq.com. We have job openings in a variety of different fields, and if you are passionate about science, exploration, humankind, and are a rock star, SSAI is the place for you. All our rockstar scientists are doing amazing work and contributing to missions that are occurring, like at NASA, among many others, to help benefit humankind. Speaking of rockstar scientists, we have 3 SSAI employees joining me today. I have Dr. Erin Urquhurt, Dr. Anna Windle, and Emerson Sirk. They support NASA as part of the Hydrosphere, Biosphere, and Geophysics, also known as the HBG contract. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your very busy schedules to talk with me today. How are all of you doing?
Good.
Doing well. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. It's a great day at SSAI, right? So each of you have been associated with NASA's upcoming PACE mission. And for those of you who might not know what PACE is, PACE stands for Plankton, Aerosol, Cloud, Ocean Ecosystem. And the NASA PACE mission represents a unique step towards an improved understanding of the Earth's system by allowing an unprecedented insight into the ocean and its interaction with the atmosphere and climate. Of relevance will be its ocean color instrument, also known as OCI, which has the ability to detect ocean color at a stunning level of detail, thanks to its hyperspectral design. Ocean color is the fundamental quality that enables scientists in different fields to infer crucial properties of the ocean. In remote sensing, an instrument measures a certain physical quantity within a given range of frequencies. The more frequencies, aka channels, the instruments can sense within that range, the more detail is given on the observed quantity. In this podcast episode, we want to showcase Erin, Anna, and Emerson's role that they have played and will be playing in the upcoming PACE mission. In addition, we are going to have future podcast episodes highlighting many more SSAI scientist contributions towards PACE and many other future missions. So now I would like to ask each of you some questions in relation to your work. So one at a time, the first question I wanted to ask was to please tell the audience a little bit about yourself and state your role associated with the upcoming PACE mission. Erin, would you like to start us off?
Sure. Thanks for having me, Jason. So my name is Erin Urquhart. I serve as the PACE applications lead. So what that means is that my role is, in addition to ensuring that PACE data is going to be relevant for science and research, is that PACE data is going to be relevant for society. And applications. And so there's practical application and practical benefit. So I serve as basically the bridge between our scientists and our project scientists as part of the PACE mission in the observatory, as well, and then with the decision-making community and the applied scientists, the folks that are going to be taking PACE data and making decisions to benefit society.
Very nice. That is awesome. Well, definitely, Erin, being a manager, that's definitely a lot of work, a lot of hours, but that is wonderful. Thank you so much for introducing yourself and your role. Anna, would you mind introducing a little bit about yourself and stating your role associated with the upcoming PACE mission?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Jason. So my name's Anna Windle. I'm currently a postdoc in the Ocean Ecology Lab. So postdoc is short for postdoctoral researcher. I recently graduated and started working at SSAI in June. So I'm currently working on methods to derive metrics related to phytoplankton from hyperspectral data that we will collect with PACE. So what is phytoplankton? Why should we be interested in phytoplankton? These are the microscopic organisms. They're photosynthetic. They're like the grass of the ocean. They're very important if you like to breathe. They produce nearly 50% of all oxygen on Earth. If you like to eat, then you should care about phytoplankton because they also form the base of the marine food web. So without them, we wouldn't enjoy tasty seafood dishes. So I'm primarily looking at global phytoplankton trends with this new data.
Wow, that is definitely awesome, Anna. And boy, I was going to say we have to be very grateful for oxygen or O2, right? Because otherwise, none of us would be able to do this podcast series or episodes. So definitely breathing and eating is very important and essential for all of us. So that is awesome. Thank you so much, Anna. Emerson, would you mind telling the audience a little bit about yourself and your role associated with the upcoming PACE mission?
Of course. So my name is Emerson Sirk. I've been with the Ocean Ecology Lab and SSAI for about 2 years. Just crossed my 2-year anniversary with the company. I wear 2 different hats for the Ocean Ecology Lab. I work on the simulated data for OCI, so the processing for that. We use this data to internally develop the data systems that we're going to use when we eventually get the real data and processing that so that scientists can use it and make it more operational. In addition to using, putting out for the science community for them to generate algorithm development and a whole swath of other applications. Additionally, I serve as a member of the System Vicarious Calibration Team, which is the on-orbit calibration of the satellite once it's launched. So that there's a lot of work to be done to developing the hyperspectral component of in-water or ground-based data processing and doing what we need to do in order to get calibration data so that the satellite data that we put out for the scientists around the world to use is high quality.
That is awesome. I'm sure, Emerson, with the data collection, you do a lot of graphs. Is that correct?
A lot of graphs, a lot of maps.
A lot of maps, absolutely. Well, I was going to say graphs and maps are definitely, very cool associated with this mission and many other important scientific discoveries. There's a lot that can be discovered with graphs. So thank you all so much for introducing yourselves and sharing your role with the upcoming PACE mission. All of the work that you guys are doing is truly inspiring. And now PACE is not only exciting and innovative from what I've been reading, but it's also going to help revolutionize observations we get about planet Earth, and it's going to lead to many more scientific discoveries. The upcoming PACE mission has a variety of different applications. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask each of you to answer a question that is associated with the PACE mission. Emerson, I'm going to start off with you by asking this first question about the PACE mission. And my question to you is, what data are we going to get from PACE, and how is it going to be used to advance our knowledge of Earth's water, land, and atmospheres?
So the data from PACE, it covers pretty much all parts of the Earth system. As the acronym for PACE represents plankton, or that's kind of the ocean component of the data that we're going to get from it, along with aerosols, atmospheric properties, cloud properties, and the ocean ecosystem part. There's a lot of biological variables from the ocean that the satellite's going to retrieve. So there's 3 different sensors aboard the satellite. So the PACE satellite refers to the whole thing, and then there is the ocean color instrument, which is the primary instrument, and that's going to give the bulk of the ocean observation data. So the main thing that we'll be observing is ocean color. And what you get from that is reflected light spectrum, which are then used to derive a whole swath of different products. These products, they've been used for previous satellite missions that look at ocean properties. But with PACE, the key innovation here is that they're going to be at hyperspectral resolution. So what that means is that previously, when you had data that was at a handful of resolution, slightly more handful wavelengths of data, and you can imagine like a graph of wavelength resolution, Hyperspectral is, instead of it being 15, we're at 200, 300. So with that, you get a whole bunch of new information, which can then better inform algorithms. So we can get better data products that are more accurate. We can get new data products. So one of the things that I'm working with Anna and developing is this representation of phytoplankton community composition from space. So phytoplankton, they're photosynthetic, so they have chlorophyll, which means that they're green. So from satellites, you can look at what color the ocean is, and from that, be able to decipher how many phytoplankton organisms are in the water. And with PACE, with that better resolution data, we're not only going to be able to look at how many or how much are in a certain region, but you can get down to the nitty gritty of what types are there, what size are they, and that can help us really to some key innovations of that. A lot of really interesting stuff that we're going to be pursuing ocean research-wise from PACE data. Atmospheric, there's different aerosol optical depth things that we're going to be getting from the different sensors. In addition to OCI, the two different polarimeters, SPEX 1 and HARP 2, are going to give us some interesting cloud property data as well. So there's a lot of information, a lot of different data products. So there's a database that everybody can go to if they're interested in learning more about what particular data is going to be used. But we as a scientific community are very excited about it.
That is awesome. And I was going to say, I'm definitely, truly excited as well. And it's amazing with all of the technological innovations that we have had, over the last, several decades that, each and every single one of you get to be able to not only participate in, but also implement into your projects in order to help to expand not just the outreach of PACE, but, expand and make important discoveries about planet Earth. So that is definitely awesome, Emerson. And I wish I could definitely be involved in this project, but I will be communicating about it as a science communications intern. So thank you very much for that. Anna, I'm going to transition on to you because I know Emerson brought you in because you work with Emerson as well. My question to you is with PACE, how will PACE support the modeling of Earth's ocean and help advance climate research?
Yeah, sure. So scientists use computer models to simulate the Earth's climate system. These models contain many, many mathematical equations to calculate how the atmosphere, the land, and the ocean evolve and change over time. So models help scientists test their understanding of our climate system, predict future changes, and the results are also important to aid in policy decisions related to climate change issues. So where satellites come in, satellite measurements can be used to inform these Earth system models. Previous and current satellites essentially take giant snapshots of Earth and when put together create huge images of the world at a given time. So satellite data has really revolutionized our understanding of aquatic and atmospheric systems and are a big step forward from the what was pretty undersampled ocean ecosystems. Usually we went out with ship, we collected point samples, so it was pretty undersampled compared to what we have now, which is global satellite images. So there has been a need for enhanced satellite measurement capabilities to study more detailed nuances of the world's atmosphere and oceans to improve our understanding of the carbon cycle and ocean ecosystem responses, and that's where PACE comes in. So PACE will enhance the study of the Earth system by collecting key ocean and climate data. It will reduce uncertainties in climate models and ultimately advance climate research. How will PACE do this? The PACE Observatory that Emerson was talking about contains several instruments that together will be collecting data that really hasn't been collected out at a single time before. So, for example, this hyperspectral imager that Emerson mentioned, it's essentially a camera that takes images of Earth, but in hundreds of different colors. So cameras like our smartphones, they take images in red, green, blue wavelengths. This camera will take images in colors that our human eyes can't exactly make out. So these extra colors can be used to more accurately measure what's in the water, such as phytoplankton. And yeah, phytoplankton are important. Like Emerson said, they come in all different shapes and sizes, and they absorb light in different ways. So they appear different colors. Some are green, some are brown, some are even red. So having this really detailed hyperspectral data can allow us to differentiate between the types. And that's important because they suck up CO2 at different rates. They export carbon at different rates. So this more detailed information will advance our understanding of the carbon cycle and ocean ecosystem responses to a changing climate. So that's how PACE can really inform these climate models.
Wow, that I have to say that is absolutely incredible. Getting to see, the images that are, taken in, hundreds of different colors, colors that can't even, be detected by, the human eye or, especially by, the cameras that we typically have today. I know I have an iPhone, so I'm going to be very excited, to see all of these different colors. And wow, that's just incredibly fascinating. So, Anna, that's really incredible. Thank you so much for sharing, how it's going to help advance climate research and support the modeling of Earth's ocean. And Erin, I just wanted to ask you, as the PACE manager, how will PACE benefit society, and what are some practical applications of the PACE data?
Yeah, that's a great question. So before I kind of jump into talking about how PACE can benefit society through applications, I wanted to make sure that we all know what I mean by the term application. So here at PACE, when we say application, we're not just talking about the use of information or satellite information. We're really talking about the use of information for decision-making activities that have some societal link and societal benefit. So applications are the link or bridge, if you will, that connects PACE to society. And the applications program for PACE, it supports 5 main areas of Earth science. And at NASA, this is called Earth Action. And so a lot of different areas, including air quality and health. So PACE data is going to be used to monitor air quality, like particulate matter 2.5. It's also going to help us track wildfire smoke and pollution extents. Back to kind of what Anna was talking about with seafood is PACE data is really going to help us advance the way we can look at water quality and water resource management. So PACE data can be used to ensure safe and sustainable seafood via fisheries management and aquaculture management. Another thing, we're talking about the climate system. So PACE data is going to improve climate modeling and thus help us improve climate resilience into the future. On the front of ecological forecasting, PACE data is going to help us improve and monitor and identify things called harmful algal blooms. So toxic phytoplankton, harmful phytoplankton in both inland, coastal, and open ocean environments, and how that impacts public health. And then lastly, PACE data is going to be used to look at disasters. So it's going to allow us to assess hazards, volcanic eruptions, wildfires, and oil spills in coastal areas. And so another thing, because PACE is a decadal survey mission, the U.S. Congress has mandated that all decadal survey missions have applications incorporated into their mission frameworks. So that means that in addition to PACE Project Science, where we all work, the PACE development team, the PACE mission is focused on engaging users in the development phase of the mission to identify the utility of PACE data beyond that of just obvious science and research. So we're looking for societal benefit, we're looking for policy, we're looking for decision frameworks. And the goal of the PACE Applications Program, which is what I lead, is really to foster new partnerships, out-of-the-box thinking, so that we as a whole can generate inventive solutions that are going to aid and benefit society as a whole. So, yeah.
Wow, that is just absolutely fantastic. I remember, Erin, when I was a public school teacher a couple of years ago, while I was teaching during COVID, which I'm sure, as all of us can agree, that was a very stressful time for all. I remember doing a lesson about harmful algal blooms, and, my students were just incredibly, fascinated, even though we couldn't do a hands-on lab at the time because of the COVID restrictions. They were just absolutely blown away by, what was in, Earth's ocean. And, that is definitely, something more that, we need to be talking about, especially with natural disasters as well. I taught a natural disasters unit. And it was truly incredible. So, there's all of these, cool phenomenons that are, just out there that we know some information, but, we don't know too much about. So that is just absolutely incredible. So thank you, Erin, so much for sharing that. And with that, Emerson, Erin, and Anna, I just wanted to thank you all so much again for joining me today to talk about the exciting upcoming PACE mission. You all are truly rock star scientists who are really making an impact and difference globally, and everybody is going to be very excited when this mission happens. And I also wanted to thank Oreste Riel, Corporate Chief Scientist at SSAI, for his never-ending dedication towards PACE, as well as helping to provide best-in-class science support to our many customers and to expand and improve SSAI's ability to meet rapidly evolving future requirements. So again, for those of you who are curious and want to learn more about PACE, please go to pace.gsfc.nasa.gov. I know that's a long link, but for these podcast episodes, we will definitely include links on our SSAI website. Also, please be sure to go to www.ssaihq.com to stay up to date on SSAI information regarding PACE and other missions that we support. This podcast can be listened to repeatedly via links on SSAI's website, and please share with others. We are helping to promote the great work that our rockstar scientists are doing. And if you or someone you know is interested in working at SSAI, please again check out www.ssaihq.com for multiple opportunities that we offer. And please share them again. Again, if you are someone who likes to dream big and is a rock star, we want you and those you know. And please be sure to follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And again, everything will be linked there from SSAIHQ.com. So that way you can receive even more cool updates about PACE and many other STEM topics in the future. And make sure to engage with us via social media with your questions and comments about this podcast. If you have any questions that you would like Erin, Anna, or Emerson to further answer, including many other rockstar scientists that we highlight on this podcast, please don't hesitate to reach out. This is a growing podcast. We are definitely going to have many episodes over many upcoming missions. So please don't hesitate, to send us questions. And again, I am your host, Jason Dietrich, SSAI Communications Department member, and thank you all so much for joining. I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of the day and be on the lookout for our next podcast episode. Until next time, everyone, cheers.